Now, this online training is good for a variety of counties if you live in the state of California, and a variety of counties if you live outside the state of California. So a while back, I talked about how if you were an out-of-state resident, first of all, congratulations, but if you were an out-of-state resident and you wanted to come visit the state of California for whatever purpose, vacation, travel, family, friends, whatever it is, if you wanted to come here and you, in your home state, could legally carry a firearm, whether you live in a constitutional carry state or you have a CCW permit in your home state, you wouldn't be able to do so in the state of California. And now, while there are a lot of great reasons to want to come visit here, there are a lot of areas that you probably don't want to travel to without proper means of protecting yourself. I completely understand it as someone that's had to call the police twice and been put on hold twice for over 2 minutes. I mean, that's not a lot of times, but it's weird that it's happened twice. So if you want to visit the state of California and you want to be able to conceal carry your firearm and not risk going to jail, well, I have some good news for you. Sponsored segment, Barbell Apparel. Barbell Apparel makes good pants, like these pants here. You can't really see very good, but these pants here, they're very good for outdoorsy, athletic type endeavors. They got a lot of pockets on the back, on the sides. They're very, very comfortable and stretchy. I'm not going to show you down here, but they got enough room in the crotch for all your dynamic activities. They sell shirts, long sleeves, short sleeves, athletic clothing, stuff for the gym, stuff for just regular day-to-day life. Fantastic clothing. They're a big supporter of me. They have a great return policy when it comes to sizing and stuff like that. Check that out because it's honestly pretty awesome. In the past, I talked about how the state of California was going to be forced to allow people from other states to apply for a permit in the state of California. And now we knew at the time that it was not going to require you to do any sort of in-person training in the state, and it was going to have to be something that you could do remotely. Well, now we have a little bit of a way forward with that. So there's a few requirements. We're going to cover the topics that you would have to, the criteria that you would have to meet. And then I'm going to talk to you about a new online training. Now, this online training is good for a variety of counties if you live in the state of California, and a variety of counties if you live outside the state of California. Thankfully for you, these are some very high population center cities and a lot of cities that people would want to come visit. Now, the list of counties that are going to be participating in this is going to be growing because one of the requirements is you have to show some sort of intent. Sorry, my dog's barking. I don't know if you could hear it. The ATF is at the door. But you have to show some sort of intent of wanting to visit one of these counties in order to apply with them. Now, you can kind of shop around because let's say you wanted to visit San Francisco, Sonoma, or Marin. Those are all right next to each other. You could take a look at what their typical processing times are, what their fees are, because I know that, ironically enough, San Francisco charges less than Sonoma County, where I live, even though San Francisco is a lot less friendly to guns in general. But anyways, we'll cover all the topics, what you have to do in order to meet the requirements, and then I'll go over this course. Now, just to let you guys in behind the curtain, my friend, Brian Kinney, is my CCW instructor. I've taken a couple classes with him outside of my CCW required classes. I've taken some classes hosted by him, and he's a good friend. And he's a CCW instructor, and he wanted to create an online platform that is easier for people than having to do everything in person, because doing a full 8 to 12 hours in person just on classroom lecture time means that most people are going to have to give up a weekend. They're going to have to take time off work potentially. Doing this online, it's a system where you can just start, watch one of the segments, forget about it, pause it, walk away, come back, do it at your own leisure. And I think that's pretty awesome. And I hope that Sonoma County lets residents like myself do this in the future, because it's a lot easier for me to just have my laptop sitting here churning through it than it is to have to take a whole day off work just to do a training class and then the live fire sessions. Okay, so here's his website here. This is californiaccwcourses.com. Now, there's two main criteria that you have to qualify for in order to even begin. The first one is you have to be a member of one of these 4 organizations. If you're not in the state of California, but you're interested in firearms, there's probably a pretty good chance you're a Gun Owners of America or Second Amendment Foundation organization member. Donate to one of them, become a member, or GOC, Gun Owners of California, or the California Rifle and Pistol Association. Now that's criteria number one. The second one, which is probably obvious to a lot of you, but not otherwise prohibited from possessing firearms under federal or California law. It might seem obvious, but I do need to mention it. So you have to be a member of one of these four, and then you have to be able to legally possess a firearm. I know, shocking. Anyways, then you're going to need to get approval to enroll in training. So you're going to have to figure out if your issuing agency is one of the agencies that allows it. Now there is a list. I believe he has that list on this other website that I have pulled up here. So here's the counties that approve online training for both in-person or out of state. So Solano County Sheriff's Office, San Francisco Police Department, Belvedere Police Department, Novato Police Department, San Rafael Police Department. And he is in the process of getting approval for all these other counties, but Sonoma County is currently approved for non-resident CCW permits. So if you wanted to come visit someone like me, probably if you're watching this video, probably not me specifically, but you wanted to come visit the beautiful wine country, you wanted to go explore Sonoma County, you could. You just have to show some sort of intent. You don't have to show approval after the fact that you did visit. You just have to show that you want to or plan to or have a desire to. So you get approval from the agency to apply. They'll notify you in writing that you complete the CCW training from their approved vendor list. This step is mandatory before taking a certified CCW course. You got to complete the 16-hour online course, which I'll show you kind of what it looks like in just a little bit. Enroll in and complete this 16-hour training. Now this online training is, like I've said before, something that you can just pick up, stop, come back to later, do multiple segments, pause, do this over the course of a long period of time, however long you feel like doing it. Schedule and pass your live fire qualification. You don't need to come to the state of California as an out-of-state resident applying to qualify with this live fire qualification. You'll have to work with the issuing agency to determine if there is someone that meets their criteria nearby you. It's most likely going to be just any instructor would be fine, but you're going to have to do some sort of safe handling and shooting proficiency with the specific firearms that will be on your permit. That's how it works in the state of California. If you have a firearm that you want to carry, you have to shoot that gun in that configuration and pass a proficiency test. Now, I could pass these tests with my eyes closed, but your mileage may vary on that. Submit your final documents and get your permit. Congratulations, you just got approved for a non-resident CCW permit. So let's show you kind of what this looks like. So you would log in, you pay for the course, you then have as much time as you want to spend working on this. So here's what it looks like. Now, there's a lot of sections covering basic topics. It's thorough. A lot of you are probably gonna be like, oh my God, when is this gonna be over? But it's so thorough to prevent you from being in a situation where the state of California says, oh, we don't feel like that online training was good enough, so now your permit's revoked. It's kind of more thorough than it might need to be solely to prevent you from being in a bad situation. Now, some of the sections that might be particularly interesting are the stuff when it comes to the specific state of California laws, because there's a lot of things that, you know, if you're not in the state of California, why would you know the laws around transporting a firearm? Why would you know that threaded barrels are banned here on semi-auto pistols? Why would you know all that stuff? So I think these sections are going to be particularly valuable to you, but you can just walk through these. Look, this section, 24 seconds, 19 seconds, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. You have a little video and then some, yeah, it's simple. You could just chug along through this and work through it at your own pace. And I think that the average person can probably get this done faster than 16 hours if you're good at taking the little quizzes. But it's a pretty simple process. I understand that you probably live in a much better state where you don't have to do this, but if you want to come visit here and you want to be in a position where you don't have to choose to break the law, you have the choice of legally carrying a firearm, it might be worth it to you. So if you live in one of those counties like, let's see, which ones were they again? If you live in Solano County, if you live within the jurisdiction of San Francisco Police Department, Belvedere, Nevada, or San Rafael Police Department, sheesh. I mean, I would probably do the online training myself if I was in one of those jurisdictions. Hopefully, Sonoma County allows us to do this online. I think that this is a potentially viable way and probably one of the only ways that is being offered currently for people out of state to get a CCW permit. If you know of any other processes that have online training, go ahead and let me know. But I mean, being able to pick this up, do as many sections as you want, pause, come back to it later, I think that's a huge value added, and it's probably cheaper than some places are charging. And I think I'll have a discount code or something like that, but I'll have to talk to Brian, see if we can get that for you. I'm pretty sure we can, but I'm hopeful. If you want to go through the process, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. If you've taken this, I've heard some people have taken the online sections and they've had good feedback. So let me know what you think. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.